I can hold my own in the evening. But during the day, I get dog tired. I was like,
And everybody tells me this, that Henry, you never sleep.
I don't sleep well.
Really?
I don't know. I think people that do the kind of work we do, or a lot of people that are well active, they just don't sleep a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's not really my case. Because I always keep one eye open, keeping an eye on my wife.
Yeah, because she's gonna go Elaine and Bobbit on you.
Yeah. Cry. I've heard that from somebody else the other day.
Remember her? Like those have got to be the weirdest stories. We should look up like the weirdest, like the Frankenweenie story. That would be that's what I call it. That's for Halloween. We'll tell the Frankenweenie Elaine and Bobbit story.
The Frankenweenie.
I think did they put it back on or something?
You know
they did. Like, I don't know how they stapled it. There you go, buddy. You're just fine.
So back
crying. Crying.
You know, it was really nice to have you on Thursday, Ron. You know, like I said, it was so well received. I got a lot of compliments.
I was surprised how many people tuned in to see how boring my life is.
You say that, but you're so upbeat, and you know a lot of people, and you're very personable, and you've been around the media outlets quite a bit. So to bring that out for everybody to say, "Well, I didn't know that about you."
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Like we talked in the show, there's never been anything as much fun as I had working in the media and full time. I love this. This is what I love here too. It reminds me of how it used to be. It used to be able to be more flexible. It used to be able to pick a little more music. You used to be able to go out and do things and have fun. And
it's funny how you said that.
It's very regimented now today in terms of the music for sure.
Yeah. And that's the way we did.
Suann Michaels. Hi, Suann.
And that's how we created this. It's exactly like that. We said, let's give it the old school feel. The old way that how they used to do it with all the new technology.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's fun doing dumb bits. And, I don't have time to do a lot of those because 1 hour show you really don't have time.
Yeah, but you got a lot in it.
But it's a lot of fun. It's great. The music today, by the way, I'm playing is called The Name Game. So on the music side, it's all songs that have somebody's name in the title, like Billie Jean and Sweet Caroline and Stephen and all those really fun songs, and Eleanor Rigby, Hey Jude.
That was one of my favorite, Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, and that a good song.
I still love that song.
Sad song, really, when you listen to it.
And then,
got a good beat.
With one of the DJs, I called him out to do a mashup with the Beatles. So they said that it's really a lot of work because the Beatles had so many tunes. So 3 or 4 other DJs around Denver area decided, hey, I'll help you with this. So everybody's throwing their little piece in there. So he's going to do a mashup for his backyard party. Yeah, I do too, man. It's going to be so cool. All the Beatles songs, all mashed up, put together, really nice.
I think you could take just the number 1 hits alone and probably have a 2-hour show.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to put that together, and that's what they all talk about. The other DJs say, I want to help out. Where do you get that on any other station?
And what's one of your favorite Beatles songs? Since we're talking
I like Hey Jude quite a bit.
I like Rocky Raccoon.
Oh yeah,
that one?
Yeah,
that was one of my favorites.
And I Want to Hold Your Hand. It was very popular.
Rocky Raccoon.
I always try to
Blackbird.
hold the girl's hand with that song.
I got married to their version of course it's from a musical, but their version of There Were Birds All Around. They never could till there was you. The Beatles version of Till There Was You. That was one of their songs.
Oh, they have some great music. Everything. It seemed like every one of their songs was like that.
I know, they could do anything. Yeah. I swear to God, they could just get up at that point in their career
and sing the telephone book.
They would have been like, Sam, what'd you say for home? I thought we could sing the phone book. People buy it. What do you? I mean, I think
the other one was Michelle. I don't know if you ever like that.
Oh yeah, Michelle, my belle. Yeah, that was.
I used to play that on the piano, and I forgot how to play it.
That should be pretty easy.
Yeah, all the
Beatles songs are all pretty easy. They're basically major scales.
Yes, I played 3 of them on the piano.
They're basically major
and
scales.
Michelle,
yeah.
And Jude, and there was one other one I played that with.
You can pick them out because they're just. Well, you could tell. I mean, here's what the genius is. I know that John Lennon didn't have any kind of background in the piano.
Right.
But what he did do is when he heard it, he figured out, well, here's the chords, here's this. And so their music is very simplistic for the most part.
And that's what made it so good.
But it's so good on top of it. The way that they put it together. But really, it's basically just major chords and a few minor chords and major scales. There's nothing really.
And then with all their energy and feeling good, acting good.
Yeah, their little cuteness. Little cute stuff.
And they had the Beatle boots. I got them a pair of Beatle boots.
And the haircuts. And I can't find it. It makes me mad. It's probably worth something. I had the Beatle dolls.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course I don't know what happened all the years. I had him until I was married, and I don't know. Maybe my husband was jealous of the Paul
Bam,
daughters.
got him. Smashed him.
Who's your favorite Beatle?
I would say it would be John.
Mine was either George Harrison or John.
Yeah, John was. I thought he was the best. Paul, he was pretty good too. I like Paul.
Yeah,
well, you
they're all
can
good.
say they're all good. I like them.
I'll tell you one thing. Years ago, after John Lennon was shot, everybody was freaking out. I said, my guess is that the last Beatle standing is going to be Ringo Starr because he's the one that most people didn't care about. So he's going to be one of the last ones. But he's gone on to have a career. I mean, they've all done.
Yeah, they've all done good. And the Beatles collection was bought up by Michael Jackson.
I know. How smart was that?
Wow.
His estate owns it now?
Yes. Man, that's like $100 million.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Because that stuff's been so recorded over and over and over.
And they're still asking for it.
They'll be making money when they've been dust for 100 years. Unlike me, I'm lucky if I make money when doing anything. There's Danica. Hey, Danica, how are you, sweetie? I have known that little girl since she was born, but she's now a dentist and an officer and has 2 children of her own in the Navy.
Wow.
Yeah,
how nice
cool.
then.
Yeah.
Props to you.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cutest little kid you ever saw, too. Not bad looking grown up. She's the cutest little girl you ever saw. She's pretty good looking, too. Now, I don't know her.
Do you think we lose our beauty after we age?
Well, some people don't. She's tall and gorgeous and probably never going to lose her beauty. But,
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think people lose their beauty if they're mean.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Have you ever noticed that when you're looking at somebody and they're a jerk? They're like you. No, their facial features get really hard and angular and they just don't look good. And then if it's somebody that you care about that's really sweet, their face just softens. Everything about them just looks better. And I think that's perception, obviously. The soul coming through or something. And speaking of that, who could we look at that we think is just really ugly based on the fact that they're a mean person? Got any ideas?
Don't bring up your friend then.
Oh, okay, I was going to bring him up. Did you know he wanted to buy Greenland? Did you hear that story?
He just randomly, I think he's got 4 or 5, maybe 10, 15, people who do all these things for him and make up shit on random, don't you think?
Oh, well, here's the deal. You never know if he's kidding because he'll start out and float it by you as a joke. And then what he's doing is testing the waters, and then if there's some kind of reception, he ends up doing it.
Yes.
And it keeps everybody distracted by these stupid tweets while they're doing things that are horrific for our country and our people. And so this one was one of the latest things that came up from the idiot in chief. And let's see what he had to say.
I like that, idiot.
That's what I call him, idiot in chief. Or menacer in chief, one or the other. I'm not sure. He's probably not an idiot. Most likely he's more diabolical than that. Aiming to put his mark on the world map, President Donald Trump has talked to aides and allies about buying Greenland for the U.S. Hey, let's just buy a country. I'd like to leave a lasting legacy, so let's buy a country.
Oh, my God.
Trump ally told the Associated Press on Thursday that the Republican president had discussed the purchase, but was not serious about it. But here's the best part. A Republican congressional aide said Trump has brought up the notion of buying Greenland in conversations with many lawmakers enough times to make them all start to wonder, if he's floating it by or whatever. They have not taken his comments seriously, but we all know what happens when he starts having discussions like that. He starts floating ideas and things. And then,
he's doing something else.
Yeah, and then he's testing the water to see if it'll go. He's already doing that with the elections. Have you noticed? He's testing the water with he thinks he could have a 3rd term. Well, obviously he can't have a 3rd term, but he's testing the water to see what I think. I could be elected. We should change this. I have a prediction. I'm going to make it here. It might be conspiracy theory, but that's what this show is all about. I predict that there'll be something to stop him from. If he gets voted out, he will do something to stop General Green's power. I think
something's going to be doing something.
I believe what will happen is he'll either declare that the elections were tampered with, which they were in his favor, but he'll declare that the elections are invalid, or there'll be a war that starts and he won't turn over the power or something along those lines. So it's yet to be seen. But so far, every prediction I've made about him in terms of turning the mainstream media has come true.
Come on, Rhonda, take that back. I don't want him in there no more. There's a lot of people who like him.
Well, I know they do, and I think that it's single-focused. So, for example, if I have a lot of money, I like him because I don't want to pay taxes. And so that supersedes all the humanistic and all the global and all the other damage that he's doing because it's helping me financially. And then I think there are people that think they don't care what he's like. They don't care if he's, it's my daughter. I'm not going to accept that. But they're just on that phone. Let's just decline that. My daughter's calling me again. Got to turn that on. So, and then there's the people that I think like him from the religious or the alt-right and the religious right, the two of those, because they feel he's on their side, even though he's obviously not a Christian. There's no question about that in anybody's mind, and the things that he does and the way he behaves and how he treats people. But they'll go ahead and support a man who grabs women by the you know what and brags about it. No, and who has had multiple wives and anything else.
I think the
because
worst one.
they want their one agenda, which is to stack the bench with people that are Christian, which is to me Sharia law. There's no difference.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
The same.
The one I think he did was the worst thing he ever did was mock.
Mock the disabled person.
Yes, I thought that was the that's where it should have ended up.
Yeah, I know, but it didn't. And then I think you've got a group of people that are the very alt-right who not only do they don't want anything to do with government, but they, you know, they're and then of the alt-right factions, there's also the people who are like the white supremacists, and they love him. They love him, and they support him. They give him tons of money. And whether he is one or not, he's benefiting from that hate, and he's inflaming it, and he's encouraging it, and that's where I have a problem with him.
Could you, let's say you were the president, could you be like him?
No.
And sleep?
No, I couldn't.
I mean, look how you are now.
Wouldn't matter what it was. I couldn't have been like him and bankrupted tons of people and not paid contractors and done the terrible things that he's a record of doing prior to becoming president. Mm-hmm. You know, running a fake university for profit university, having a fake nonprofit. I mean, it goes on and on.
He hates on the immigrants. Yet he used all the immigrants to build the building, and then didn't pay.
And he hates on it. You know, I went to McDonald's today. I was trying to get some quick food, and the line was, I had to turn away and go away. It was just nobody was working. It was ridiculous. And so I think we're going to start seeing like the food, the crops not being paid.
It's already happened.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of places like that not have workers, and because you know. I mean, everyone says they're taking our jobs, but they're not taking my job. I mean,
what are you? If that's your job, then you must like that job. Are you? Some are lawyers, doctors. You do all these other things. I don't think you're putting up beds at the local, hotel.
Yeah, or picking the lettuce, or any of that.
And the avocados are going bad.
What we need is a real good guest worker program.
Well, they have them. They have the bachata program.
Right.
And it's still in place, but they don't talk about that. How come?
I don't know. But we need to revamp the guest worker program.
It's still there.
I know, but I think it's the
all you have to do is tweak it a little bit and put it back in place.
I mean, here's where I think we have to do with guest workers if they're coming in. If you're going to hire guest workers or migrant workers, we used to call them, then you have an obligation for certain things, and that should be some kind of a base minimum pay. You should have kind of access to a doctor or a clinic, because if people get sick and they're over here from those countries, they don't have any health insurance, like half of America, but they don't have valid health insurance here. So they're going to go in, and then we're going to see the hospital systems taxed.
Right, and then look at the ICE over there raiding their chicken processing plant.
Why don't they arrest the people that have hired them? That's what
I don't get that.
I don't get that.
They go arrest the workers for.
I know.
Poor
arrest
workers.
The Monforts, or somebody who's using them. I mean,
I don't.
I'm not saying they use them, but
that's what they're doing.
I know they don't arrest any of the employer. If they would arrest, when I ran Radio Disney, you had to take those I-9 documents anytime they hired anybody. Not one person ever checked on it.
I know. I don't get that.
I had all these I-9s. You don't submit them anywhere. They just sit in a pile.
Then they find out that half the plant, 3/4 of it, they were all naturalized citizens.
Yeah.
And they had to let them all come back, but they fired them.
How'd you like the new statement about with the new home director that's going to be overseeing immigration, which was the statement. Did you see that statement he made about the slogan on the this is kind of funny. The slogan on the Statue of Liberty, send us your poor, your child, your home masses. And then he's like, and who can stand on their own 2 feet. He added that to it. He changed the thing when he read it.
That's crazy as hell. Now, what if you can't
I agree with that to some extent. I mean, obviously we can't bring people in who can't earn a living, but because it's just not going to work that way. But the way that it's being done and how it's being picked on. I mean,
what did they dream this shit up at?
I think it's all smoke and mirrors. So that they're doing. Here's what I believe is going on.
Who's dreaming this shit? Oh, look at this. Oh, let's change the Statue of Liberty. Oh, let's paint the White House yellow.
Because they're just putting people in there that have no background or anything, and they're just doing what they feel like they wanted to do.
Just random
shit. But here's what I think the ultimate agenda is. Part of it. If you're watching the economy and the stocks tumble, you've been watching that. Okay. So I think it's short sales. I think all these wealthy people. I mean, he's got the reins of the economy in his hand, right? So you drive the stocks up.
Yeah.
And you bet on them falling. And people are buying them, so they're doing the short sale. They're betting on the opposite. The market's going to fall. They make tons of money in the short sale. Then when the market does fall, they reinvest in it there. It goes back up. They sell it, and then it's going to fall again. They do the same thing. And so I think that what you're seeing is the largest transference of wealth. Well, we've been seeing that for a long time in our country's history. And by the time it's all done, the poor people can't stand it, especially for 65 years old, you're living on your 401k, and it goes down like that. They panic. They take their stuff out, and all that wealth, all that goes to the people who buy it, who have money, and then they short sell it or they wait till it goes high. So I believe that it's. I think that that's part of the deal. Is
and you can tell, it's like, and especially as you get older. I never understood this with when you get on Social Security at the very end. How come they only give you a little bit of it? How come they don't give you lump sums?
Well, they don't have it.
But still, I'll give
the
you
space program. Let's see. Let's just keep going. Everybody talks about all these welfare programs that have wrecked Social Security. It's not. That's not what
at all.
That's a separate pool of money. In fact, it's not even the same pool as your retirement funds. But what's wrecked it is them borrowing money to do the space program, borrowing money to do this, doing their special snot studies. All that stuff comes out of they've taken out of there. And really, the government should be required to pay back what they have taken from there, and it would be solvent.
And I think you should get all your money back within a 25, 30-year period, not stretching it out.
I don't know how long you're going to live.
That's what you won't live past that. So.
I don't mind.
Live. I mean, let's say you only 25-year period or 30. Let's say you only 30. Right?
Yeah, if you retire at 60, you might live to be 90. Yeah. But some people today live to be 100. So they get a freebie. They just get to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Do you know one of the largest populations, I learned that this morning, of homeless are people that are senior women.
Yes.
And because they can't live on their Social Security and the rents here are so high. So that's kind of scary.
It's funny because they made it so bad here, especially Denver. Denver is almost as high as New York or San Francisco.
It's pretty high. It's pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's and I don't know what you do because I don't know how you solve that. Because as somebody who owns a property, you want to get the most you can for your property, and you can't blame them.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean you can't blame them. That's some people's most major investment is the home that they have. So you can't blame them for wanting to charge the most they can get for it and wanting to sell it for the most. But what I think we could do is, if I were in a position of making a difference, I would pass some legislation on the state level that allows landlords, whether you own 1 unit or you own 1,000, to keep the rent basically in a low area below market so that people could afford it. So, like for example, if you have a tenant and you're going to rent to them for $1,000 a month, then and the market value is X number of dollars a month, and you're keeping your rent low, and the people and you're renting to somebody who isn't making under $75,000 a year or whatever. And in Denver, that's what it takes. Say 75 to 4,000 a year not to be getting some type of assistance. So anyway, if we can give them a tax credit, like okay, you could have charged $1,500 a month, so we're going to give you a $6,000 tax credit at the end of the year because you kept the rent low, or 3 or some way to apply that can be applied over several years. So I think that there's ways to do this so that people to keep it low because you've got landlords that have had people there forever and ever and ever and ever.
And then take the price on time.
And then or if they don't, then the landlord isn't getting their but so it's really tough. I think there needs to be some type of legislation to help people. And it's not forcing them to do it; they can charge what they want.
I think we should be in politics. I really do. You know a lot more, and you're more knowledgeable.
I'm not a good enough liar. I'd like to be, but like to do some kind of tax credit or tax back or something would be, I think, the way to do it without saying to people, you can't charge that, because you really can't do that if they're right to charge what they want to charge.
And it's crazy where we've gone in this world today, don't you think, Rhonda?
Oh, nutty. So
now, let's talk about your reunion.
Yeah.
Let's go over a little bit of that. Now, you're excited to go. You usually go with some of your friends. And where are they having it at this year?
Oh, this isn't a big reunion year. This is like a middle reunion year because our 40th was really big. The 45th is we're all getting together at Hofbrau tonight.
Oh, that's a nice place. They have some good music.
There'll probably be about 100, 120 of us. Some people are coming in, some aren't, And we're just going to hang out at Hofbrau and just have some fun,
And that
There's
place.
Karen Mahoney. Whoa, Karen. She used to work in media as well. She was, I believe, what was it? It wasn't KOA. It was KHOW.
Yeah.
And hopefully she'll be coming tonight. But anyway, you know, we're going to have a blast, I think. And I'm sure they'll be playing our old music, and our creaky old knees will get up there and try to dance. And we'll think we're looking great, and people will be going by, like the young people will be going by going,
think we're looking great.
I can do the walker dance. You know, it should be.
That's what it is. You know, as you watch yourself, as you age, the dancing slows down somewhat. Before you know it, you're out there just barely moving.
Yeah, that's about right.
And you're clapping, isn't
it? We're not that bad yet.
I know.
Okay, come on. We still have a lot of people that eat gummies in our class. I'll tell you.
What kind of gummies are we talking about?
Just a few nice gummy bears at the store. But I have a crazy bunch. I mean, it was a fun group. Arvada West, 1974 is the year, and we had a pretty good group of people.
Did they ever go to the state championship on anything?
My husband played on the state championship team.
Football?
Yes, and that was, I believe, in 1972. I think he was a sophomore year.
Wow.
But he started all 3 years on every single team, both directions. So, but it was a sophomore year. It might have been our junior year. But anyway, we went to the state championship. They have not repeated that. They have not won a state championship since. I don't think so. But
I know they were playing once in Tuco, but they got beat.
Yeah. And
it was sad because they were supposed to. They almost made
that. That was a dream team. That 1972 team. It was amazing.
Just a bunch of tough guys.
They were some great guys, and they were fun guys too for the most. With a couple of them. Buttheads, but for the most part, they were all pretty good guys, and ended up marrying one of those buttheads. So you know.
Did you guys bring anything to the reunion tonight? Was there anything special they had at the door?
No, this is one of those.
You guys.
I don't be a name tag or something.
That's it.
No, this isn't a big deal like the 40th was big, where we had 3 nights of fun and all this other stuff. And a lot of us have kept in touch because of Facebook and things now. So after the 40th, I find myself doing more with my high school friends than I've done for the 40 years before. You know. And,
you see anybody who got together, they got married and everything. Now they're.
Oh yeah, there's a few of those.
And then now they're not married anymore.
Or you see people who used to date and weren't dating, and then they're off, and then we kind of reconnected. And you're kind of going,
what happened here?
But I can't do anything bad. My husband will be with me, so I have to behave. I'll be like, okay, honey. And it's kind of fun because we have friends that we both have known maybe since 3rd grade and on, and we don't see them all the time, but we see them, or people we've gone to high school with, and it's kind of nice to have that shared background that Patty and I have, although we have different groups of friends that kind of overlapped.
Yes.
But it's kind of nice because, between the two of us, we stay in touch with a lot of people. It's kind of fun.
And what kind of music they having tonight?
I'm sure they'll play old shit because we're old people.
Well, they have a live band there.
No. This is low key.
No, but they have a live band.
Oh, they do? Yeah. Oh, maybe they do. I don't know what they do.
The Hop Ground has live music.
Oh, then we have live music. Okay.
Have you been there?
I have not been there since they moved it over to that.
Oh my God, it's huge.
Oh.
And they have a big giant stage for the band.
Oh, great. Well,
yeah, they have live music.
You ought to have some fun. What happened in Old Arvada tonight? But there's so many people that it's wonderful to catch up and see people that were part of your childhood from the time that you were little, and whether you were best friends with them or not, it doesn't matter. It's just we share this commonality, and overall we had a pretty good class. I mean, we all kind of got along. It was fun. So I'll see the kumquats tonight. That'll be fun.
Yeah, everybody will be there. How many usually show up for that?
Oh, I don't know. This will be a little smaller. Probably 100, I think, are showing up, something like that. And then in the last couple, there's a couple hundred. It's always the same group, it seems like. But hopefully there'll be some new faces. Hey, let's look at some of these weird news stories. Okay, are we ready?
Oh, you're going to have a great band.
Well, who is it?
Hot Lunch.
Oh, yeah, Hot Lunch.
Have you ever heard Hot Lunch?
I have.
Hot Lunch is awesome.
Good.
And if you see Louis Chavez, he's a guitar player.
Okay, tell him to say hi. Louis Chavez, okay.
Say Henry Archuleta.
Okay, I'll go up and talk to him.
And I've known him since he's 16 years old.
Oh my God, well, I'll go up and say hi to him.
Yes, say, hey, I'm with KUHS.
Okay.
I know Henry Archuleta. Yeah, I know him.
That's awesome. Well, it'll be a lot of fun.
Reggie Carter, if you work in the office.
Reggie? Okay.
Okay,
I'm going to go up and say hi to all of them. That would be great. Hot Lunch tonight at the Arvada West High School reunion at the Hot
I have
Crowd.
a show, and they'll talk to you about your show. And then say,
I'm going to go. Well, maybe I'll get a little...
They get you up there to see.
Oh, yeah, right. I can't carry tuna basket. Are you kidding me? It'd be like, get her off the stage now. The only songs I can do at karaoke are Bob Dylan songs because you can't wreck them. Yeah. What a drag it is to see you coming. Yeah. Okay, listen to this. This is a disgusting story, but I'm going to talk about it. There's Kathy. I'll see you tonight, too. Kathy Myers, nice. Florida vacation home is invaded by, are you ready for this? Vomiting vultures.
Oh my God!
Sounds like a cabinet meeting. White House invaded by vomiting vultures.
That'd be nice if they went there, huh?
Anyway, West Palm Beach, Florida. A New York couple's luxurious vacation house in Florida has been taken over by dozens. This is like so creepy, like out of the, what was that, The Omen? Dozens of black vultures that are vomiting and defecating everywhere. Oh my God, that's so gross. The Palm Beach Post reports that the Casamano family can't even visit their $702,000 home they purchased earlier this year at the Ibis Golf Course and Country Club. Wow. I can't say that name. Casamino describes that the smell is like 1,000 rotting corpses.
Let me help you with that name. There's a gal that I know with that name.
Soban.
Mm-hmm.
Soban Casamino described the smell as 1,000 rotting corpses. Oh my God. The vultures have destroyed screen enclosures and overtaken the pool, the barbecue. I would poison those. Why would you just put poison out and kill them? A few times the family has visited. They've had to park their car in the garage to avoid the birds pecking them with their beaks.
It's like the birds. Or
what is that?
That one movie.
Cheryl Katz, a neighbor, tells the Post that she got it even worse when she lived next door to a person who was feeding the vultures and other wildlife. Okay, don't feed wildlife. It doesn't.
Or vultures. What was he feeding them?
I don't know. Like
mice? Yeah,
that's so weird. Oh, God. If that was my neighbor, I'd just walk over and I'd go, hi, I'm your neighbor. When they said hi, I'd just pop them right in the face.
Boom!
Boom, that's it. You're done. They can bite through bones. So imagine 20 vultures trapped biting each other, and they can bite through bones. They would bang against my window, running away from the bird as they were attacking them. Oh, my God. Blood was everywhere. It's vile. Oh, my God. It was Memorial Day, so no company I called would come out and help me. Oh my God! 3 police officers arrived and removed the screens, shoot away the vultures. Since she has, oh my God, the poor person has chronic lymphatic leukemia as well, and it leaves her vulnerable to infection, so she has to be extra careful when she goes outside. They need to kill the vultures. I'm sorry, there's a thing like poison the mice, throw them in the house. Their house is already wrecked. Kill all the vultures, clean them out, and start over. Oh my God. She said she's seen neighbors give bags of dog food, meat, and roasted chicken to vultures.
Oh.
Okay, please don't feed the vultures.
Dog food.
Oh my God. But pretty soon the golf tournament ended and they all went back from Mar-a-Lago to Washington, D.C.
Take a couple of vultures with you.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, it was just the first family visiting. Neighbors Associated. I'm not going to keep reading it. It's awful. They tried to scare him off. They need to just kill him. Experts say killing a vulture, having it stuffed and hanging in a prominent place would work because vultures avoid their own dead. This is so weird. Okay, I can't even read any more of this story.
That was wild.
Vulture pooping all over.
It seems like that's just a made-up story. Is that real?
It's real, but how weird is that? Oh my God! Airport worker fired for giving a passenger a "you ugly" note. That was me. You ugly. You ugly. You mama say you ugly. Okay. Your baggage handler say you ugly. You ugly.
You ugly.
What the heck? Okay. An airport security worker in New York has been fired. Okay. For handing a passenger a handwritten note that says you ugly. Why? What? Okay, let's see what's going on. The incident came to light a week after passenger Neil Strassner obtained a security video and public records posted it to YouTube. The video of the Greater Rochester International Airport shows a worker handing Strassner a note after he passes through a metal detector. Strassner says he didn't think much of it, and he continued toward the gate. That's when the woman yelled out, "You gonna open the note?" Strassner says that when he did, the woman burst out laughing. He later complained to her supervisors.
You ugly.
Funny, you ugly. I've been called worse. I've been called worse. Okay, anyway, that's weird. Don't hand out ugly notes if you work at the airport. You're going to get fired. Just remember that. Okay, let's see what we got here. At the vomiting vultures, we already did that. Oh, boy. Oh, there's Melody. Hi, Melody. Okay, here's another. This is a weird one. We're talking about weird news right now. If you just joined us, we just finished talking about vomiting vultures invading homes in Florida. We figured it was Mar-a-Lago, and the members of Congress and the family went back home to Washington, D.C., so the vultures are gone now. But anyway, no. So we're just updating people who are just joining us. We're talking about some really weird stories that are true, but they should be fake.
Only on the WTF show, right?
The WTF show on KUHSdenver.com. You can follow us on my Facebook page, which is the WTF Radio Network, on Facebook where I post other weird things, or on KUHS Denver's Facebook page. And you can listen by KUHSdenver.com, and you can tune into the radio feed or the video feed.
You got some really good music.
Well, the music's great. Music today on the radio feed is all name game. And what I did was I picked songs with the names of people in it because I'm going to my 45th high school reunion, and I figured I was going to forget everybody's name. So maybe that would like spur on some memories of names. Anyway.
Have you ever done that? Gone to a reunion?
Oh, all the time.
And you're, I remember you. Oh, Rhonda.
You know their face. You know them real well.
You just can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, here's another weird thing. Raccoon freed after being trapped in a vending machine. Another Florida story. All the weird animal stories are happening in Florida. Police say a raccoon trapped inside a vending machine. Must have been Donald Trump again with raccoon eyes. I need those chips. No, they're biggie chips. Anyway, the police says a raccoon was trapped in a vending machine at a Florida high school is now free. Volusia County Sheriff spokesperson Andrew Gant says the deputy stationed at Pine Ridge High School was notified of the trapped raccoon, and they called animals for assistance. So they also unlocked the door and out scampered the raccoon. And they said, so that's kind of weird. They have those cute little hands.
Yes.
And my youngest daughter hates raccoons because they have peoply hands, and she thinks it's creepy.
We used to have a whole family of raccoons in our backyard, well, in the meadow. Mm-hmm. And my dog would go crazy because they'd come in the yard and climb on the fence and be walking along the fence, driving him nuts.
We had a baby one my husband brought home once that he found. They had its hand stuck under a door when he was leaving somewhere. So he got it and put a little box and we took it home. It was really kind of nice. We wore gloves when we petted it, but then we took it to a wildlife rescue because what are we going to do with a raccoon? Even if it liked us, and we didn't want to get used to people because that's dangerous.
Yeah, and they've got some big claws, don't they, Rhonda?
Okay, here's a good one. This is not funny, but it's an interesting story. This is what's going on in our country. Where people are afraid of each other. And
I can't believe some of the stuff that people do.
This is in Arkansas. Okay, so you know it's going to be good. All right, now I just have to say Arkansas. Okay. Like, okay. Put in your teeth and let's tell the story. Okay. The wife of an Arkansas jail administrator was arrested and charged with assault several days after the police station pulled a gun on 4 black teenagers who were going door to door to raise money for their football team. Oh, they're a bunch of black kids. They must be up to trouble.
Oh, my God.
Oh, come on, people. This is getting so crazy. Police in eastern Arkansas city of Wynn, about 100 miles northeast of Little Rock, said the incident happened on August 7th. They responded to a report of suspicious. I can't say it. Suspicious
get that
person.
Before tonight.
Suspicious person, and found the 4 children on the ground with Jerry Kelly, who was white, standing over them holding a gun. They knocked on the door to raise money for the football team. I mean, this is exactly what the Black Lives Matter movement is about. It's not about saying that other people's lives don't matter, but it's about saying that there's no respect, there's no understanding, there's no equality for people of color when you immediately assume they're a criminal.
Like the little boy, I mean, they said he found the gun, but they still haven't showed no gun. The kid in Colorado shot him in the back.
First of all, if he's running away, why do you have to shoot him?
Yes, 8 times.
No, 3. The story's getting bigger every time you get told.
Well, no, they shot him 8 times. They hit him
3 times. Yeah. And why would you do that? He's running away.
Yeah, let him run away. Go ahead.
You'll get him later.
Yeah.
He got the other friend. He'll roll over and tell you.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Just kids.
I didn't get that. I didn't understand why they would happen.
I don't know. I don't either. I do know that there is an actual manifesto that's out that was published in, I think, the Washington Post. I'm not sure. That part of the doctrine of growing the organization of many of the white supremacist groups is to get their members on police forces.
I know this.
So you don't know that they're actually a member of that group and they're joining the forces, and I think we're seeing some of that. Most policemen are wonderful people, and I certainly respect them, and they put their lives on the line every single day. And I'm not advocating in any way that they should put themselves in danger. If they're in danger, they should shoot. I believe that. They have every right to stay alive. And so if there's, but when somebody's running away from you,
And it's a young little girl.
it's well, he wasn't that young, but he was a young man.
19.
Yeah, 19.
That's still.
And they're running away from you, and they're not facing you. There's no reason to shoot them.
In the back.
You know, yeah, in the back. You know, that's I don't know. That says it right there. Anyway, so this woman, had these 4 kids on the ground with a gun just to ring the bell to collect money for their school football team. And, that's just...
Did you hear about the other guy who jumped this 14-year-old kid at a playground and was beating him up and held him for the cops because they said he was defacing the property. He was just over there playing.
People have gone insane, and I think that's what we were talking about is the fuel and the fire for everybody. It's really sad that the fire is fueled by the words and divisive conduct of people in authority. And it's, it had to be there. He didn't create it. It had to be there, but it's bringing it to the surface. For a long time, we really pushed that down. But I have no room for people who are intolerant. I have no room in my life for people who are bigoted. And, I just don't. There's just, and those of us who know the right way, which is not to be prejudiced and not to be bigoted, to be inclusive and to try to learn from others and not fear them, we can't sit back. And people say, "Oh, you shouldn't talk bad about the president," and I'm like, BS, because that's what they did with Hitler. Let's just sit back. Oh, it's okay.
Let him do what he wants.
Let him do what he wants. You know what? I believe that it's our constitutional right and duty, and more than that, a moral duty to stop what's going on right now. And if it means that it costs me more taxes, it costs me more taxes. I would rather pay more taxes than lose our wild grounds, our wildlife grounds, and to see people treated the way they're being treated, and to see all of these things that are going on with our allies, with enemies that we're not, treated like better than our allies. I would rather lose the tax money, honestly.
And here's the thing: they say, "Oh, the economy's doing real good. Just look at the stock market. And look at the stock market." What do you mean the stock market? That's for the rich people, right?
Well, everybody's invested in it more because the 401k don't get rid of pension. And so the market itself is driving up and down, but that's being done on purpose.
Yes, but I have a 401k and it won't give me.
Why? There's nothing in it.
Oh, there's a lot in there, and I even had a lawyer write to them.
Who won't give it to you?
Well, it first started at Safeco, and then Safeco American States merged, and then Liberty Mutual bought them, and somewhere along the line, it got
That's crazy.
That's crazy as hell.
Are you serious?
That's all I looked at.
You have the paperwork and everything?
Yes. I had a lawyer even send the letter certified.
Wow.
They ignored the lawyer.
You have to take him to court.
They know this.
Yeah.
They know it's going to cost me.
I know. That's crazy. Hey, there's a New York City funeral home dog. Is the 1 millionth canine, good citizen. Let's see. I never heard of a funeral home dog. Maybe it's like a comfort dog for people. Look how cute it is. Oh my God. It's like a Burmese mountain dog or something, it looks like. Who's a good dog? American Kennel says there's now 1 million of them. If you really want to make your husband mad, that's how I do my husband when he gets like, who's a good boy? You're such a good boy. He's like, stop it.
I don't like that either. I get that. That's so good. And then I get stop that.
It really bothers your husband. If you want to try that, just try it.
How come that does?
I don't know. The club is announcing Wednesday that a Burmese, that's right, mountain named Fiona, I love that name, it's cute, has recently become the 1 millionth good citizen canine, including the dog's past and present. Fiona's owner is Nora Pavoni, and special reason for getting this to the club is that she spends her days comforting people at the Pavoni family Brooklyn funeral home. So the dog is there for people to just kind of hug on while they're making those arrangements.
Oh my God.
That's really cool.
That is.
That's probably the one thing that they feel like. You ever had that and you're sad, you just kind of hug on your dog. You can't hug on your husband because they're like, stop whining. What the hell's wrong with you? Dude, that's why I'm crying. Here's my dog.
Or if you have a good dog, you can go talk to the dog about your wife, and he'll never go tell her.
No, they don't tell. They don't kiss and tell.
And they're unconditional love, and they're like always happy to see you.
Dogs are, I think, well, I love pets. I like my cat too, but there's something, I don't know.
Well, cats aren't as, I don't think
they're affectionate, but they do it in a different way. They're very kind of.
You think?
Oh, mine.
I don't know.
Mine stay in the same room with me.
They're not that
It's on my
smart.
shoulder. It's like wherever I am, it has to be around me. And then it goes outside and comes back. Whenever we're outside, if it's inside, it cries. It bangs on the door at night if we shut the bedroom door to let me in. It's like it feeds the dog. The dog and it are like really special friends. And the dog gets sick when it eats cat food. I want with the vulture scene looked pretty good, actually. So the dog gets sick when it eats cat, and what the cat do? It eats, and when it's done, if the dog's sitting there, it goes, pushes the can off the counter and feeds my dog, who then gets sick. It's like, thank you. So I have to separate them when they eat.
What's their name?
Boo Boo is the cat, and Hercules is the dog.
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. They're named by children. I mean, they're old now. They were named by my obsolete children. You know, I don't have children with obsolete.
Did you ever watch Yogi and Boo Boo?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yes, Boo Boo. And a little pig in a basket. Boo Boo.
Or Quick Draw, Make Draw.
Oh, I love Quick Draw, Make Draw.
Oh, the thing around here, Bubba Louie.
Yeah, Baba Louie. And they had that. What was the other one? They had Snaggletooth. Snagglepuss.
Yeah. Excellent. Stage left.
I can't do. I used to be able to do all those, but I haven't done impressions in a long time, so I'm not very good at them anymore.
Those are the good times. Yeah, sometimes
I used to be able to do Captain Hepburn.
Did you?
Yeah, but I can't do it now. I've done it 25
Right.
times.
Right. Yeah, get entertained.
I don't think I can do it. Let me see.
Right. Come on, Rodney.
I'm going to give it a shot. I can do it a couple times. The calla lilies are in bloom again.
Yeah, you did it.
I did.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Bob Dylan was
Because that's how she used to always do it. You know?
she was. I loved her.
Yeah.
I went and saw her when she came to Denver one time shortly before she died, and that's another person. Read the phone book. I don't care. I would have watched her.
Because she's
Awesome.
so cool.
Yeah,
Carol Burnett was like that too.
saw her in person.
I loved where she did the thing about Gone with the Wind. She comes
Oh
with
yeah.
the curtains and the curtain rod.
She was. That was a great show. There were some really wonderful shows back then. And Ann's watching. My kumquat friend Ann Butcher and Bachelor Butcher. We're going to be at the reunion tonight,
That's gonna be
and it should be fun. And there were so many crazy things back then. Like especially growing up. Like Arvada was a small town, and when I was little, like in third grade, it was like 10,000 people, and then it became, and it was somewhat kind of its own community. It really wasn't a bedroom community. Today it's a bedroom community, and there's obviously well over 100,000 people in it.
Whoa.
So it's a little bit different. But we could get on our bikes, and within 2 minutes we'd be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. That was fun.
Ride around and have a lot of fun. Yeah, it was fun. We'd go swimming.
Did you ever
stand in the
remember the Stingray bikes?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you ever?
I didn't have a Stingray.
They had a slick actually.
I had just an old one of those old bikes with the white tires.
Yeah.
And, like
big-
like the Wicked Witch bike. The basket. Everybody else was really cool. I had that thing. I'm coming. But I did get a motorcycle when I was.
Did you really?
Yes, my mother was so funny. I really wanted everybody in my neighborhood skied and jeeped, and they rode dirt bikes and all that stuff. It was all very outdoorsy, the horses, and everybody was all into all that stuff. And I just begged my mom, starting in like 5th grade, that I wanted it. All I wanted was a little mini bike. One of those little mini bikes.
I
Just a
love
little mini bike to ride around on. Just all I wanted. Just a little big, teeny, tiny mini bike. And and so she didn't know what anything was. She didn't have any money. She
it had
worked
lawnmower
full-time.
engine on it.
Yeah, and so she worked for a trucking company at the time, and so apparently one of the truckers who knew her, and she kept saying, "Well, I want some mini bike. I don't know what those are." He said, "Well, I'll find you a deal. If I see one, I'll let you know." So he apparently buys this thing, brings it back in a truck that's empty back to where she worked, and says, "I got this for Rhonda. It's like $100 because I had saved $100, and that was a lot of money back then." And I worked
Bought you a mini bike.
and an old beat up thing. And so they pull up the house, you drop it off, and it's a Kawasaki 90. It's not a mini bike. It's a motorcycle. And it was a 2-stroke motorcycle. You didn't start. You had to run it and then jump on it to start it. And then we took it all apart. The boys next door, the long boys next door, took it all apart, and we built it back together until it would run. I mean, once it got going, it was great. I had that all through junior high, and I would ride it on the railroad tracks up to Oberon. The other kids in the neighborhood, you'd see all the kids in the neighborhood running down the street, pushing my bike until it starts, and then you jump on it. Got confiscated by the Arvada police a couple of times.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but back then, this is what they did. They come and say, and they call your parents, and they either bring the bike home, or they'd impound it, and you have to pay like a $20 fine.
That's saved them.
You didn't go to jail for like 10 years like today.
Take away a kid's
It was on the street. We were doing, they're like, you can't be on the street. So we would ride all over the schoolyards and all over Hell's Half Acre. And kids in Arvada push that thing from one end to the other to get a ride on it.
Go.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. For Cindy Ferguson. Hi, Cindy. So that was my real bike was just like one of those, Kmart bikes with the giant wheels of Huffy. Those Huffy
Oh
bikes.
yeah, the big Huffies.
Yeah. They're popular again.
Yes, everybody buys them. They look sharp.
Yeah, but I think they have gears now. Ours were like you had to have legs of steel to get up the hill. It was like, okay.
Just like that commercial where they show the guy's legs are all filled.
Oh yeah, isn't that funny?
No.
But so anyway, it was a good time, and I think that in a way, I really do miss that simplicity of how it was with the traffic, how it was to live in a place where you knew everybody, and whether you were best friends or not, you knew everybody. There's Cindy Newton Ludwig. I've known her since we were talking since Catholic youth group.
Whoa!
And in 6th grade, I think, before 7th grade, and we knew each other. I'll tell you a story how we knew each other. So we were in Catholic youth group together, and CYO, and so we're there, and somebody bet me. I said I was eating a cinnamon roll toothpick or something like. Oh, you got something about you don't like hot. I said, it doesn't matter me. I can eat hot. Oh no, you couldn't drink this little vial of cinnamon oil because that's really too hot. I said, you bet me? Dare me?
Give me some money.
Sure, I'll do it. So I drank this bottle of cinnamon oil. Cindy was with me, and next thing I know, I'm in the hospital because it's so hot. It's burning a hole through the wall of my stomach.
Oh my
So I had to go into Lutheran. They rushed me to Lutheran Hospital. They called my mother, who is, my mother is used to these kind of phone calls. It's Rhonda. Oh God, what'd she do now? So go to the hospital. They had to pump the stomach. They had to put lining stuff in it. And my mother is like mad. So what does she do? The priest at the time, Father Croak, that's who it was. Father Croak. She tells Father Croak to come in and pretend he's giving me the last rites, so I'll scare the heck out of me, so I won't do anything dumb anymore. So he did. He comes in, he pretends to give me the last rites. I'm scared to death,
Really?
Yeah,
This really happened?
it really happened. And then it didn't scare me too much because like 2 weeks later, I think I got stepped on by a bull because I went out in the field to see if I could outrun it. So it was. It was like
that's bull.
Yeah, so I wanted to try the. Yeah, I got hurt that time too. I got hurt all the time. Oh my God. Well, it was out in the field. I was pretty far away, and I thought, I wonder if they really do come when you wave something.
They do go fast.
So I'm standing there going like, Toro, 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 and the big car's coming at me. I'm like, ah!
And it tripped.
Yep.
The girl always trips.
I didn't trip, but it pretty much came close to me and it got my foot. So that was fun. And then so my mother was like, I just want to go one day
without
a phone call
for Rhonda.
Yeah, did something that you shouldn't have done. That wasn't stupid. That was my present to her. I tried to give her one day off.
One day off.
One day off. Barry Thorpe is watching, or Paula, his wife. I'm not sure. They go by Barry and Paula. I don't know which one is on there. But hello, two of my longest friends, Barry. I've said this before.
Are they going to the reunion?
No, because Barry I've known even before I was living in Arvada. I've known Barry Thorpe. I don't remember not knowing him all my entire life. And his family. His mother was my mother's best friend, and his father was a wonderful, wonderful man, and we were all very close. So anyway, I've known Barry since I was teeny tiny. And he was a nut job too, though. Barry, you should send me some of your songs that you're singing. We'll play them on the air because he is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah.
Great.
If you've got a song, if you want to MP3 it to me, I'll play it. But anyway, fun kids. We always do crazy stuff like that. You can't do stuff like that anymore.
No,
because they arrest you and you actually get a real jail record.
And it's funny how
kid things.
You're talking about that Santana, the little intern we have here. Her family, as far as her family, grew up with me, and she reminded me of we were named the Down the Hill Gang.
Oh God!
Raise hell. She goes, "Hey, you guys still raise hell? You're still both all loud. You still all do your thing." That's what she would say that morning. It's true. We had in our era, we all had this time.
We did, and you could get away with stuff like if you were riding a motorcycle and you didn't have a license.
We didn't get
killed
and
just send you home.
Half the shit we did was wonder we didn't die, right? Half the shit we did, hang out the side of a car.
We used to ski. This was the worst thing we did because it used to be we'd get, we didn't get snow that often, but we'd get it every once in a while down, And so we would take old rock skis and like a rope, like from a boat, and then pull behind the car. Let's say pull us. And we'd be like, that's fun. Or car surfing or any of that stuff.
Or grab the back of a bumper and go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Crazy stuff.
Or sit on the side of a car, the old cars that they had. The little fender there. You go sit on the side.
Or you put like 10 kids in a car. I mean,
I did 10 girls in a Volkswagen.
I had a '64 Ford Falcon. I loved that car. And I swear to God, 6 people was nothing to get in there. And even though it really wasn't designed for even 6. You would get, like you go into a football game, you'd have 14 kids in that car,
Jesus.
Oh, God.
And that was fun. That was a fun time. When you go to the football games or the baseball games or whatever. What was the place where you guys hung out to go get hamburgers?
Well, we went, we played at 6th Avenue at that stadium, and we played our own home field. And then we were in Arvada, so there was different different little places.
Because they had like Carl's.
Or they had Scotty's.
Scotty's.
Yeah.
I used to work at Scotty's.
Did you really?
Did I tell you about that? Yeah, I got a job at Scotty's.
Scotchman.
Yeah.
You know, there was
mine was Scotty's. That's why.
Yeah, I like Scotty's. I used to go there.
And I used to always make the hamburgers. They'd stay over till 1 o'clock in the morning.
They had a few places like that.
That's where. And
the old Arvada, the drive-in movies, those were fun.
Oh yeah. What was the name of the one out by you?
That was the Wadsworth.
Wadsworth?
Yeah,
Because they had all kinds of them all over town.
You know, sneaking up people in the trunk.
They started watching that. They said, open the trunk, and then go back and bust. Get out.
Get out. It was fun. It was fun. You know, I have to say that I'm truly been blessed to have lived in a great community and with wonderful people, and still be in touch with so many of them. How's that? Oh God! How about the 7-foot Frankenstein you were so afraid of, Barry? I think I gave it to you, Barry. I'm not sure. It was a poster of a Frankenstein that was just really creepy, and I think I gave it to Barry. I'm not sure. He might have just had it on his wall, and I could not go in the house without, and I'd see that and just scare the hell out of me. Yeah, it was like, it was really creepy. Forgot about it.
Gosh. It's wild.
And then we remember, I don't know if Barry knows, we were going out to, there was an old abandoned, back in Illinois where I spent my summers because my parents were divorced. There was, you'd sometimes find these old abandoned farmhouses or old houses in those little towns, that were abandoned. And we used to go, of course, try to get in those and look around and get scared,
Wow, look at this place.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But what do you see when I look at my kids today and I think of the Colorado Garden today? It's really dramatically different.
Completely different. And even the way they're like if you look at even the dynamics of the homes, the dynamics of schools, everything's different. It's different.
And some of it's good. It's not bad.
Oh, it's really good. I mean, but I'm saying their methods of doing it. You have to do lockdowns on their front doors.
That part.
You have to have cops in the schools.
Don't even get me started on that.
It's crazy the way things have changed.
We truly are doing something wrong in so many ways to have what we have going on within the lives. That's right. I mean, we're the worst of all the civilized countries. We even have more mass shootings and deaths than some of the uncivilized countries that we would consider to be not civilized countries. It's the highest. Well, I think there's too many guns. It's easy access. And getting some of them off the streets with certain.
Well, these high-powered ones. How come they let people buy them
now?
How come they let people buy those?
I don't think they should
automatic AK-47.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be able to buy the body armor. If you're not a policeman or something, you shouldn't have it.
Body armor.
I mean, what do you need it for? Like if you're wearing body armor, you got a problem. If you're not a police officer, a fireman, or somebody like, what do you need it for?
It's crazy. Right?
I don't like militias in general. I think that these people that claim they have to have a militia are crazy.
There's something
I think they're crazy. There's something not quite right with those people. And you don't need that stuff. And hopefully we'll get some people in. I hope this election is going to be so important on so many levels. And hopefully we'll be able to turn the Senate. That's more important than the president because we can take care of him once we get this.
You think they'll get elected out of it? There'll be so many people.
I don't know. I can't make a prediction on that. I honestly don't know, but I do know that we probably should try to turn the Senate.
Yes.
Because without turning the Senate, it doesn't do us any good. We can. You've got a president who does something bad, lies, cheats, steals.
Well, the Senate can stop him.
Oh, like our guy. The Senate can stop him, and the House and the Senate can stop him. But so I'm more in favor of not worrying about Trump, just worrying about getting the Senate turned. And speaking of that, we need to get that butthead Cory Gardner out.
Cory Gardner.
Oh God.
Well, is that the end of your show there?
I think all we do is bitch about politics. The whole show is bitching about politics. That's it. There's so much to talk about. I'm going to go and see if Trump's bought Greenland yet this week. Isn't that one of the things? And then I'm going to end on this note.
Sure.
I want to say that my thoughts are with the people in Portland, and let's hope that doesn't get violent, because that's a pretty volatile situation right now.
Right.
So we want to be careful on that. And so we'll probably be funnier next week. This is why I'm just complaining.
No, actually, it was really entertaining. You talked about all the fun
high
stuff.
school. Hey, look out, because in a couple hours, here we come.
And it's going to be the Hot Lunch Band tonight. Don't forget
right.
to talk to Louis Chavez.
Okay, I'll say hi to Louis.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll see everybody at the class reunion, and the rest of you, I'll catch you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.